how long you think about what I'm going to eat. But you can do all these different things with your child, but then there's some line when it comes to your man. That's what I mean. It's like, you know how to do this, but there's something psychologically, whether it be socially, that you just can't bring yourself up to do the things you naturally already do, but for your man. And vice versa for the guys. Guys to be with their bro, you hungry? You know what I'm saying? You need a place to stay. Shit, let's make some money together.
Right.
Then it comes to a woman and they be like,
But yeah,
they know how to. What I'm saying is, we know how to do it, but there is something in us that does not allow us to love our neighbors, love the person in front of you. There's something about that.
okay.
Hurt, maybe it hurt or something. I don't know.
One of the, this is like compulsory reading. If you, as a black person, if you never read any book, please read Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome by Dr. Joy DeGrasse.
I'm gonna check that out.
Please read. Oh, please! I implore you.
I'm gonna buy that today, in fact.
When I read that, matter of fact, that was my most recent book review. When I read that book, it gave me so much clarity. Like, she starts from antebellum plantation South to post-Reconstruction, to Jim Crow vagrancy laws, to convict leasing, prison industrial complex. She breaks down how, you know, just the breakdown in the family structure. But one of the things that I liked is she brought up something called vacant esteem. And by that, she was basically saying, like, look, a lot of us don't have a positive sense of self. A lot of our senses of self is rooted in something very shallow and self-serving.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And then she said, what else did she say? She talked about defining value. And then I thought about it, like, okay, what does it mean to really have value? And she was basically going down this list. What do you add to your family?
Yep.
What do you add to your friends? What do you add to your community?
Yeah, it's real.
And then it hit me. She said nothing about monetary things or materialism. And it just kind of hit me, like, you know, a lot of us, the metric that we're using to define ourselves is very empty.
And that's what I was saying earlier about the two-parent households, is that's where you get your value system from. That's how you learn your value system. You say, hey, look, the man goes out, makes money for you. You do the traditional one. Man goes out, makes money. Woman stays at home, cooks food, cleans house. Boom, value system. Now, nobody knows what role they need to play because, and it's not to say any of this is better than the other. It's to say that this is what I'm going to be.
But I don't need no man.
That's ridiculous because you need men, even the ones you can't see. Yeah, you do.
Even the ones you can't.
Yeah, because you need them. In this world here, like I said, that's why I said start off with the dirty jobs earlier. Your trash ain't going to take itself out. Even if you take it out, it's not going to leave your house without somebody picking it up. It's not going to go to the landfill without somebody taking it to it. I promise you there's not a lot of women doing that. And if guys decide to stop doing that,
oh, that would change the world. That would throw everything off.
So, and that's what I mean by, I want to call it disrespect, but there's a lack of respect for men in general. There's this, we're the boogeymen, and we all we want to do is like control women. Like, look, I have better things to do. I really do. I have better things to do. Either you're gonna be like, that's how I feel in my relationships. Is that if I'm with you, is to build something, whether it be a business or a family. We're gonna build something. I'm not here to try. I'm not gonna be with somebody or be around somebody who takes value away from me. That's crazy. Nobody's sitting here talking about, go do this, woman. Nobody's gonna do that.
Some women like getting talked to like that.
And in those cases, like I said, I have no issue with people like that. But your social contract between you and your partner, or your husband or wife or boyfriend, whatever the case be, needs to be put in place from like day 2. Like day 1, be swaggy if you want to. Talk about who you are and boast and brag. I don't give a...
But you know, I think, again, like I was saying, people are giving bits and pieces of themselves to so many different people that they can't foment anything solid. I feel like one of the things I keep hearing a lot of women say, just date a lot of men.
Don't do that.
Date a lot of men.
That's ridiculous. Don't do that.
And I'm gonna be honest with you.
Real quick. There's a statement I've been saying all week that said women are born with value, men has to earn it.
Oh shit.
In relationship wise.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying like I have no value outside of. I thought that was to say men have no value outside of proximity to women. That's what I thought you were saying.
relationship-wise.
Okay, I'm
But-
about to say,
but
like,
yeah,
what?
you're born with value and that's why when people say you're a hoe or a hoe culture, is because you're lowering your value, meaning you already had to have the value to begin with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't lower value if you ain't never have it. You got to build it. That's what I just been hearing all day. And for men, it's the same. It's the difference. Is we got to have a job. We got to have our own place. We got to have all. We have to build value.
So it's a double standard.
It's definitely a double standard. But I'm not gonna go. Like I said, I'm not the kind of person to say that you must or be that way. In general, you do what works.
Right.
It works best for you and your partner, a girlfriend, a husband, or whatever works best for y'all. That's what you do. But
Thank you, because I feel like a lot of times people are trying to find like these cookie cutter examples,
right?
And they don't understand. Like I coach basketball. Traditionally, I like to play a half court set, but in order to play a half court set, you have to have big post players. One time I was coaching, I didn't have big post players, so I had to step out of the half court set, and I had to play more up tempo for my lack of size.
It's adapt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Adapt and overcome. You know.
But yeah, if you would have stayed with your other play, you would have probably lost or been worse off. That means that if you are stubborn and unwilling and unflexible, then you're gonna get those type of situations. That's why I keep saying I think a lot of our relationship and like masculine and feminine issues has all to do with your expectations of the person in front of you.
Yeah.
And because we're not.
And be honest with yourself.
Yeah, and that's why I said earlier also, a lot of people aren't really not only qualified to talk about this stuff, but y'all need therapy. A lot of people need therapy. Stop, was it the guys going to the woman and try to, get the therapy from them, or vice versa, a woman goes to a man because they need something.
That's
Stop.
white people stuff.
Yes, go to therapy. We have enough black therapists that exist. There's like blacktherapist.com or something that exists if you feel like you need a black person. And what happens in therapy, I never took it myself. A little hypocritical. I would.
I have gone to therapy before.
It's not about them, because I have a cousin who's a therapist. They're not going to berate you. All they're going to do is ask questions and try to format ideas that you had already or have already, and just place it in the better words.
This is how I look at a therapist. I look at your life is a series of conversations that you have with yourself.
Yes, absolutely.
Sometimes these conversations that we have with ourselves are distorted.
Yep.
They're not the most healthy.
Yes.
They're not always.
They're not framed right.
Yeah, and I look at it as a therapist as somebody who's like helping you organize your thoughts.
Yes, absolutely. And that's what I got from my cousin when I talked to her, talking to everybody. It's not to say that you're broken or anything like that. It's just, I mean, the way I put it this way is that there literally is no disadvantage of going. Only advantages.
Right.
Meaning either you go in and you get nothing, so you lose nothing, or you go in and you find out a way of thinking that's actually superior than what you were.
It's healthy.
So there's a positive to it. Now, I realize about the therapy, just don't, if you do feel some type of way about it and you're not willing to talk to other people, you don't have to tell people you go.
Right.
You don't have to blast it and be like the church thing. I go to church, now everybody should go to church. No,
Right.
You don't have to do any of that. It's a personal experience between you and yourself and your therapist. That's it. It's a personal experience that should make you a better person in the end of the day. That way, a lot of these ideas about masculinity, femininity, manhood, womanhood, relationships, all that can have a strong foundation, strong, healthy foundation.
You have a better perception.
You better perception. That way you will make better choices and better decisions. And this is what it all boils down to, is to make the best decision for your life. But if you're basing it upon social media, you're gonna get burnt.
Or celebrity.
Celebrityism definitely gonna get hurt. Hell, even check this out. Even dealing with the people in your family, if it's a dysfunctional family, what messed up your mind.
And let me add something to that. Okay, a lot of people, I'm seeing a lot of black people that they want to step outside Christianity, or they want to step outside of Islam, and they want to deal in African spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
And I see them talking about crystals and I pray to my ancestors. I venerate my ancestors.
Yeah.
I am my, like, all this stuff about their ancestors, and totally ignore their living relatives or treat them like shit.
Yeah.
And I have a problem with that. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's phony. It's just phony. It's hypocritical and it's phony. Same way when I still like I do business also. I tell my buddies, I said, how come that you can go to work, you wake up on time, you get to work on time, you give that fake fucking laugh and do all that crap at work, but when it comes to business, your own business, you're loose with your schedule, you argumentative, why does the so-called white man get the best of you and I get the worst?
I can answer that question.
Oh, go ahead.
I made a speech at Tougaloo College back in 2009. And when I said this, everybody in the room looked at me like I was insane. You know what I said? I said, black people worship whiteness. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's not even really our fault. Who controls the images controls reality. What is it? A culture is often accentuated through art, media, music, all that. And in context of all the aforesaid, we've always seen whiteness put on a pedestal. One of the main things I learned from white men was insert yourself first as the best and put your woman on the pedestal. Because that's what they've done for generations.
Wow.
They have literally done that for generations.
Put themselves first and put their woman on the pedestal. And the black women who watch this, is that a problem? To put ourselves first and then put you on a pedestal? Is that a problem?
It shouldn't be.
Comment down below.
I'm saying it. I mean, but that's the reality of it. Like, you know.
But remember, that requires a sense of order.
Yeah, and I think that's the problem with our country by and large. Is like, these are my freedoms. These are my rights. And I think Western society as a whole, it's more about individualism. You know, we don't think and move as a unit. And one of the things that I think is, this may sound weird, one of the things that I like about ants.
I love ants. I love this. By the way, ants are super civilization, super colonies.
Yeah. Like, there's no, hey man, I should have this. Hey man. And I know, like, ants don't talk and communicate.
But it's communicate.
Well, I mean, like
pheromones. But go ahead though, yeah.
Okay. Learn something. Sharp brother.
No, I fuck with.
I fuck with ants.
No, I do, because look, there's only two creatures on Earth that go to war: humans
and ants.
And ants.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
No, but, okay, go ahead though.
Yeah, but where am I going with this? I mean, just basically,
they all have a job function. They don't.
And nobody
cry,
gets
complain.
mad.
And then they just do what they need to do, and then they make these super colonies. There's a colony as big as like there's. So I know it's crazy. I don't know how we got here.
No, it's all good. That's what we do.
There's an ant colony, and I have to mention this. There's an ant colony that got so big that it was big enough to where it conquered the world. Meaning you would find this ant everywhere.
Wow.
In super colonies, big as this tree, right?
Wow.
They were so big and so big that they through genetics, they disconnected themselves. Because they were so far away from each other and just genetics and shit like that.
Wow.
That once one ant then finally came, the older ant came and found the newer ant, they were so different that they'll go to war with each other.
Wow.
That's
hella profound, bro.
They were amazing. They I forgot what they're called. Like I said, they're ultra. So in our world, for example, one thing that we like bees, for example, bees, ants. I forgot what they're called. I'm sorry if I can't remember the name of it. But it's like you said, is that in their society, because they have societies,
definitely,
everybody has a function. Whether or not you believe that they're hive-minded or the individuals, they all have functions. When it comes to humanity, we don't have that. We
have it on a we have it on a maybe not on a social level, but definitely on a biological level. Function.
Such as?
I mean, what's the main premise of the body is to maintain homeostasis, right?
Yeah.
So your endocrine system has to be functioning properly.
Well, I get. Well, I mean,
That's what
as a society.
That's what I'm
remember
saying.
I said, society-wise, well, that's why I built the part earlier about nation building, especially with the black community. Is we have lost. It can be found though, but we have lost what it means to have a nation. The good parts as well as the bad parts. And since we, like, for example, let's talk about the vaccine for a few seconds here. Not whether you should take it or not take it, but the reason why a lot of people don't trust the vaccines is because it's being made by people who don't look like us.
Go ahead.
Well, yeah, you know, we can talk about the black scientists involved in it or whatever case may be, but for the most part, we don't trust outsiders with our health. We don't.
Oh, yeah.
We just don't. Whether or not it's good or bad, we just don't.
But see, the thing that pisses me off about that is like, y'all just trust medicine so much, but when you really get sick, you go to the hospital.
Yeah, you got to.
And so my thing is this: like, if y'all have that much of an issue with hard science, modern medicine, whatever, traditional medicine, create your own infrastructure.
Okay, so we're gonna go there with that. The problem with that is that this so-called New Age science or whatever
That
you want
is
to call
their
it.
infrastructure.
Yeah, but it's phony. It's fake.
It's pseudo.
It's pseudo. It's not real. It's based upon anti-institutions. That's what it's based upon. It's based upon.
Now, what do you mean by that?
It's based upon the saying that anything from the medical world, medical jargon, is based upon what's the word? It's like outside rather than outside to get.
So it's basically to be contrary to the mainstream.
Yeah, it's contrary. It's a contrary.
That's all.
And you know, it requires you to not have any basic understanding about the things you're talking about, so that you can get lost in the higher order things. That's what he said earlier about nutrition. I like to mess with people about, oh, I'm healthy and I'm just gonna I'm just gonna eat right and da da da. And I say, well, what is nutrition? And they don't know. Or now the new thing.
I want to be there